Oh my gosh. Oh, I just can't even believe it. I can't believe it. Speechless. Speechless. So goal for today is to actually take Wallace for a drive. In order to do that, I've got to adjust the brakes. They're all brand new wheel bearings, you've seen all that. And then I've also got to put the interior back together. So I've got the bench seat out, and it is in the garage awaiting some TLC and some extra care. I got a seat cover for it and some stuff to kind of repair the foam. It's going to be a temporary fix. I just want to get it to the point where it's not going to just disintegrate when I sit on it, and I'll be able to use it for a little while before I kind of tear it all apart again to start, you know, the process of making it even better than it is today. I've got to get these brakes adjusted before I ever try to roll it forward or back. I'm afraid if I hit the brakes, they don't engage. I'm going through my neighbor's fence, which is also my fence. I'm more worried about my neighbor than I am myself. I'm going to do the driver's side first. I'm going to get up in the air. I'll show the process of adjusting those brakes. I don't know how in-depth of a process I'll show. It's literally just a screwdriver and you're adjusting nut until there's a little bit of drag on the wheels. Not a lot of drag. You don't want to create heat and wear out your brake shoes. But that's the process of adjusting brakes on this. I've already bled the brakes. We're ready to just do this. Get after it. Freaking airplanes. Jeez, man. Right side is adjusted. Gotta do, well, driver's side is adjusted. Gotta do the passenger side still. I'm not gonna show that process, but same exact thing. Just turning those dials till they feel a little bit of a drag on the wheels. Still easy enough to spin them, but you can hear it kind of dragging along. That license plate has been on there since 1988. Well, at least that's the last sticker that's on it. In fact, I can see several layers of stickers under that for other years as well. But we're going to use some aim penetrating lube to break this rust down and see if we can get these off of here without breaking them. Don't want to have to drill anything out. In fact, while I'm here, I'm going to treat a bunch of these bolts just because those are all loose. Those must be for tow chains and whatnot. Not sure actually. Treat the back side of them as well. Oh yeah, those are really rusted. This will be fun. But we're going to try it without breaking them if we can. you go. Snapped it right off. So both of those bolts just broke right off. So it's now loose. Let's see what's behind this thing. Oh, that's nasty. Some pretty heavy rust and lots of spider nests. You can see the original color of the bumper behind there. It was white. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't think I remember noticing that in the pictures that I was sent. Anyway, let's get that cleaned up and get the new license plate mounted. Alright, well hopefully that fan's not too loud. I'm set up here in the garage. It's about 91 degrees. It's hot, so I've got a fan going. I've got the garage door open to get some circulation going. Even with the insulation in here, it's like mid to upper 80s. I need to get it cooled off at night. Too much information. Here is the bench seat from Wallace the 66. This is what we're working on today. If I can get this thing dialed in and put back in the truck, we can go for a ride. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for that, you have no idea. So I bought just a simple bench seat cover. I don't think the picture shows exactly what that is, but it's, there you go. Just a simple slip over cover. But what I've got to do before I put that on is reinforce some of these springs. Obviously some of them are just completely broken. The foam is disintegrating and falling apart. This is going to be temporary, but sometimes temporary turns permanent, depends on how good this fix is and how long it lasts. So I'm going to try to put my best effort into it so that we don't have to go through an additional expense. I took this seat down to an upholstery shop here in town that comes highly recommended. The guy said if I can get the springs fixed, solve all the rust, and paint it before it comes to him, he'll redo the padding, the underlying backing, all of that stuff, and upholster it for 600 bucks. That's actually not that bad of a deal. Let me know in the comments down below kind of what that would go for in your area. I'm here in Salt Lake City, so that seemed reasonable to me, except for that puts me over the $2,500 budget. So I'll put on the screen up here a current status of where we're at budget-wise with this build. We're getting down to the wire on it. It's important to kind of save some money here on this last stretch to get it on the road. We're this close. Here's the plan. I bought new burlap. I don't know what they call these things, burlap sack, burlap. Some hog rings, a hog ring tool. That came with gloves that have some Chinese symbols on them, so I'm sure the whole thing came from China. Bought it on Amazon, leave links down below. Oh, and I bought some new foam. My intention is to reinforce behind each of these springs with the burlap so that when I push up against that with my back, this is actually the back, and this is the bottom. The bottom actually is in fairly good shape. It's a little bit crusty and dry, but I'm going to leave that as is for the underside. But I've got to kind of do some hog ring tying and whatnot up in here to fix that so there's just not this gaping hole when I lean back into the seat, or when the engine pushes me back into the seat with that, I don't know, 87.5 horsepower that this engine's gonna make. You heard me. But anyway, there's a couple of spots up here that are kind of decaying and falling away, so I'm gonna kind of cut some of this to fill in some of these spots, and then I'm going to put, I bought two like blanket type things that I'm going to put over the top of that and then put the seat cover on. So it's going to be multiple layers.
You're so wrapped up in layers, onion boy, you're afraid of your own feelings.
Built up to kind of reinforce and hold everything together. But I'm going to do my best to kind of scrape away at some of this rust, this exposed stuff I'm going to paint so that it's, you know, quote-unquote pretty. You know, just kind of take care of some of that so that anything that you see looks like it's been touched, looks like it's been restored upon, as it were. Let me just kind of set the camera up and kind of get after this. I don't know my exact plan other than reinforce on the back side, reinforce on the front side, and then multiple layers on top to kind of just sandwich it and hold it all together. Let's get busy. Let's just do this. So first I'm going to try to deal with some of this rust and just kind of clean up and get some of this crap out of the way that I don't need in there anymore. Just so it's not making a mess. Whew. Okay, maybe a mask is needed. Alright, rust reformer is done. Well, at least as done as I'm going to get it. I kind of peeled back and sprayed what I could. There's still a little bit like up underneath places and whatnot. But the stuff that's hidden I'm not going to worry about. It looks decent from what you'll be able to see on the outside. So everything else will be covered up. So now we got to deal with some springs. I'm basically just going to put some hog ring nose, I don't know what the freak these things are called. Hog clamp dilly bobs. I'm going to put some dilly bobs all up and down and around and different places. I'm going to cut this into strips, I've decided, that are like 3 times wider than that, and then fold them so that they're triple layered and go across each spring. And just kind of feed it up underneath there, and then hog tie it at one end and the other. Hog tie? Hog ring. I don't know. These things at both ends to hold it tight, to give it more rigidity for supporting the foam so it doesn't just crumble and die. Still going to, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can run my hand across this and it's just literally falling apart. Not good, not ideal, but it is what it is. For the record, I looked for a springs kit for this. I was just going to replace all the springs and just kind of start from scratch. I could not find a springs kit for the 60, whatever it is, 63 through 66 model. In fact, I don't even think I found any for 67 through 72 either. So that's why I'm doing this, is because I just could not find what I wanted or needed. So if it's available out there, comment down below so somebody else knows not to do what I'm doing and go get the right thing. I'm also current on my tetanus shot, by the way. Alright, well, there's one spring done, 50 more to go. So it pretty much looks like a rag doll, but that's it. That's all I'm going to do back here, at least for now. If I need to, I'll get back in behind here and do something else. I'm a little worried about these springs. Those are right at the driver's seat back. But anyway, I think they'll be alright. So step 85.5 or so. I went to a fabric store and I was looking for like an Indian blanket, something like that, something that just had a little substance to it and not a lot of stretch. And I found these blanket scarf things. They were on clearance, and it was cheaper than buying fabric and like making something. So what my plan here is, if I can get these apart, what my plan is to fill in these holes with chunks of this. I'm gonna use spray foam, not spray foam, I'm gonna use spray adhesive to like stick it in there. I know that that's not gonna stick, not gonna stay. It's only to hold it until I get this cover over the top of that and wrapped good and tight. Good and tighten. And then we're gonna take the actual seat cover and put it over the top of that. And I'm hoping that, hoping that this just kicks this down the curb far enough that we can deal with it later. Far enough to deal with it later, that makes perfect sense. Anyway, just to kind of tide this over until we decide if we're really putting a bunch of money into the interior. I'm basically just going to set up the camera and kind of get after this. I'm going to cut away some of this so that it's a shape that's more conducive for something that I'll cut out of that to receive it, and hopefully get down to some good foam where it'll actually stick. That's the plan. Please don't laugh at me. This is just me doing the best I can to stay within budget on this build. But let's finish it up, and then we can install this thing and take our first test drive. First test drive. Well, look who's laughing now. I think that's gonna work. It's gonna hold all the things in all the places, especially once we get that cover over the top of the cover, over the top of the foam, with spray adhesive in between all the things. But is it super pretty? No, it's got wrinkles all over the place. It's gonna be covered up. You won't even notice it. This one little bump right here, I wish I had taken that one down just a little bit more, leveled it out a little bit. But these down here, they feel all right. You can tell they're there, but every layer we put on is gonna just solidify that up. So, who's laughing now? That guy in the blue shirt is. Yep, oh, no, not you. You, right there. Yeah, you know you. Anyways, I'm gonna bust out that thing, get that thing on there. This is going in the truck today, and we're gonna do a cold start and drive this beast. Wallace, the 66. Lives again, lives and drives. Ugh. sit in my brand new seat. Hey, there we go. It's gonna look like midnight maroon. Do the responsible thing. Recycle. This is the same complaint that I read in the reviews that this stuff shows. And it's not perfect, but it was cheap. I think it was $29. Good enough. Let's get it in the truck. I want to drive this thing. Bolts out of the other side. Seat's in though. Nice. I almost forgot we're doing a cold start for you guys first. Actually, let's get you where you can see maybe if there's a little bit of smoke or something. There we go, that's better. Cold start, here we go. Now, an attempt to run Wallace under his own power. We're going to go forward, maybe 10 feet, and stop. We're going to test those brakes, make sure that we can stop before we hit the fence. Yikes. And then we'll go backwards and do the same thing, but pretty slow. Right at first, we're just taking this nice and easy. See what transpires. Holy crap. Did you see that? That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. Alright, and now, road test. Wallace is legal, insured, registered, essentially roadworthy, minus lights. We still got to get lights going. I do have one brake light. I'm just going to kind of stay real close to home. Nothing crazy or anything. So. through some gears. That was second. There's third. Ooh, it doesn't like third. It's pretty tall gears though. Wonder if I should be starting out in first. I don't know if it's a granny gear or not. I gotta test all that out. It feels like I'm bottoming out in the back end. So that's kind of strange. Brakes are not the best. Ooh, that is definitely a granny gear. You can tell by how it locked into it. Sweet. Oh my gosh. I just can't even believe it. I can't believe it. I got to. I'm looking right at it. Right, Derek? Vice grip garage. Woo! Full power steering. So amazing. So amazing. Gotta take it easy. Gotta take it easy. Super fun. Oh my gosh. Just, oh, speechless, speechless. Got about 40-45 pounds of oil pressure. Alternator shows it's charging. I don't know if the temperature gauge works. The fuel gauge definitely does not work. I should have about half a tank. Oh my gosh. Freaking awesome. Basically just went around the block real quick. Kind of works. It's pretty bouncy. Showing 40 miles an hour. That feels about right, so it's at least close. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Alignment feels pretty good. Goes fairly straight down the road. No idea if you can hear me or not. Red light, red light. Yeah, these brakes are not the best. I need to do some adjusting. Definitely need to adjust mirrors too. Alright, so far so good. Oh, back down our street. Successful around the block trip. Holy crap, that's amazing. That is amazing. Speed bump. Yeah, back end definitely is hits hard over little bumps. So I gotta figure that out. Yep, definitely granny gear. Holy Moses. I don't know if I dare try the emergency brake or not. I'm parked in my wife's spot. I better not get this thing stuck here. Not gonna do that. Holy crap. It's smoking under the hood. I gotta see what that's all about. I'm sure it's just burning the oil that's all over the engine. But let's check that out and see. Definitely smoking. But down on the exhaust manifold, it's all this oil and whatnot that's been slumping down on there. Not quite so much on this side, but definitely on this side. But man, Wallace is a runner. It's freaking awesome. Got to get my air cleaner on there. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Ooh, everything is smoking. Smoking! This is the first time that Wallace and Midnight Maroon have been parked next to each other. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. We are really close to getting that thing dialed in and running as well. This is my motivation so that me and Tavish can go for rides at the same time. Oh my gosh. My wife wants to go for a ride, so I'm going to take her for a quick spin around the block as well. So freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. You cannot imagine how this feels. That thing's been parked off the road since 1989. That's 34, 33 years. I don't know, math's really hard, but 30 some odd years it just parked. I've still got to figure out electrical lights, whatnot, but freaking it runs, drives, stops. Doesn't stop great, but I'll get that dialed in. Freaking Wallace, yeah. I cannot even begin to tell you how that felt to drive Wallace for the first time. I guess the smile on my face said it all. So amazing. This is Troy with DIY Home and Auto. There's so much more to come with Wallace the 66 to get him truly roadworthy and kind of ready to show off. So if you haven't done so already, first of all, like this video if you feel like I've earned it. But also subscribe, ring that bell, you'll get notified of the future videos that I post. I'm in the process of renaming and rebranding my channel as well. So, you know, the DIY Home and Auto thing is going to be going away. The new channel name is going to be Troy's Garage. I'll show you what the new logo is going to look like right here. That change is coming very soon. Just kind of figuring out all the details and whatnot around that. So you'll hear my intro and outro and whatnot start to change over time as I kind of brand myself with the new name. So, Troy's Garage going forward. Appreciate the support. I love you guys. I couldn't do this without you. Check the links down below, affiliate links to Amazon and whatnot. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use those links to make purchases on Amazon, but it does give me a little bit of a kickback as a thank you for sending them the business. That helps more than you know. I can't express that enough. So just check those links, and if you feel like supporting the channel, check that description down below, and I appreciate all of that. That being said, I'm truly humbled by the growth of the channel, and I'm excited for the future. I'm kind of taking this a little more serious than I had been in the past, so I hope that that comes through in the video to you guys and kind of help me grow the channel and take it to the next level. So appreciate it. Thank you so much. Truly humbled. We'll see you guys in the next video. Hey, I didn't mean to turn that on. How you doing?